Hi Yogi, Veronique here with our chair pose tutorial. I'm really excited about this tutorial because this is one of my favorite shapes to feel really powerful, and it can be one that can be a little bit skimmed over, particularly if we're feeling a little bit of fatigue in practice. So we'll look at some very specific alignment cues. We'll want a block and to be near a wall for this tutorial. And when you are ready, come and join me on your mat. So we will find our traditional chair pose to begin with. The big toes will be together, slight space in between your heels, and then you can set your block down for the moment. Graze the fingertips towards the ground, so have a nice deep bend into your knees, and then inhale, lifting up. So we want to guide the knees back. Maybe you can start to see your toes beyond the knees, and so there is a lightness in the toes. You should be able to pick up all 10 toes, melt the shoulders down the back. Maybe you look up. You might even seal the palms together, look to your thumbs. And so just to give you the side view, there is a sense of rooting down, like you're trying to look for a chair, and then a lifting up. So there's certainly a broadness across the collarbones, a knitting of the ribs, engaging through the core, and a slight tuck of the pelvis. So finding that isometric drawing in of the outer hips towards the midline, and then a lifting up. So for a lot of us, maybe that feels like a lot of sensation, and maybe it might feel really hard to stay nice and open across the shoulders. So what I tend to see oftentimes is the gaze wants to go down in our chair pose, and so it invites the shoulders to round in when we do that. So what we really want to do is we want to gaze to the horizon or even skyward, and that is a really nice reminder for the shoulders to stay nice and broad and open. So just to show you from the side, we're bending the knees a lot, or to a degree that feels sustainable. Try to sneak those knees back and then maybe float the arms up. Your modifications for your arms might be cactus. Maybe you release the arms down by your side, or something really nice is you could take a hold of opposite elbows behind you, engaging the navel to spine and staying nice and open across the heart. You could be here. So we'll find this at the wall. This is a really nice way to play with it so that you can build the confidence to sit really deeply and strongly. And this wall sit is actually a phenomenal exercise to build a lot of strength in your legs, in your glutes. So you might have done this before. You'll come to sit all the way to the wall, and you can have your feet about hips width. You want to be able to sit or have your shoulders all the way back, and we want to bring those legs so that they are about parallel between earth and sky. There's going to be a point where you'll really feel this, and then if you want a little bit more, you can extend the arms up overhead. So this is a really strong exercise. You could alternatively cactus the arms, or if you want a little bit more bracing, you could place the hands at the thighs. So I recommend building up that wall sit. You could sit there for up to 10 minutes, maybe as a certain threshold to reach. You'll really start to feel that glute and the quad engagement the longer that you're able to sit and breathe there. So that'll be a really good exercise to practice. One of the other great tools that I really love is having a block in between the thighs. This will really start to build the inner thigh strength, and then it might even activate through your hamstring strength as well. So you'll place the block in between your thighs, and you'll bring it all the way up. You want it's sort of on the narrow end, and then you want to bring your feet so that they're more or less directly under your hips. You're squeezing the block. This is such a really excellent tool just in your Tadasana, in your mountain foot pose, to feel the activation of your legs in this stance. So from here, starting as we did before, maybe now that you've garnered all that strength in your wall sit, you can bend the knees a little bit, maybe a lot, and then coming to find your chair pose. You're squeezing the block, sending the knees back in space. So oftentimes I get this question, is it better to sit lower and then you're at an angle, or is it better to stay a little bit uplifted so you can bring the shoulders above the hips. So it might feel like whatever it is that is targeting the points that you're wanting to target. So if you're wanting it to be more about the legs, maybe you sit lower, you can take sort of a diver's variation of chair pose. Maybe you wing the arms alongside of you. You could be here. This is a really great place to practice. And notice, even though I'm hinged, I'm still staying open. I'm drawing the shoulder blades together. I'm staying nice and open, nice and broad. And then over time, perhaps you can start to float the arms up. So depending on what kind of shoulder mobility you have, this could take some time. This could be where the practice lives. Another great tool to open up through the shoulders further is you could interlace the fingers behind you, and then you could take this interlaced finger variation of your chair pose. So the tendency here, watch, is to flare the chest and to get really open here. And this might feel really nice in terms of like opening up the heart and feeling a really nice back bend, but really think about drawing more engagement into the core. So finding that release, it's not so much a tuck of the tailbone, but rather a drawing of the navel towards your spine, drawing a bend in the knees, and then reaching up and out of the shape. Good, and then coming up. So I'll just show you what this looks like in a flow. Very simple Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. This is a very Ashtanga-based, simple warrior B, but I just want to show you how it looks flowing breath by breath. So you can do this yogi's choice either with a block or without, and then find yourself at the top of your mat. Bringing yourself to ground, and then we'll inhale, find Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. I like belly thigh connection first, and then extend your tailbone to the sky. Step, walk, float your way through. Find your vinyasa. Warrior one, right side. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, release. Vinyasa, find your way through. So this could also be cat-cow. Warrior one, left side, breath per movement. Inhale, rise. And exhale, release. Move through your vinyasa. You could also skip it, moving directly to your downward facing dog. Step, walk, float your way through. Find your Utkatasana chair pose, top of your mat. Lengthen through the legs. Exhale, Samastiti. Ha. So that is our chair pose tutorial. Any questions at all, please leave it in the comments below. If you have any requests for future tutorials, let me know that as well. And be sure to subscribe so you can be notified as soon as the video gets posted. Thank you so much, and namaste.